Hello, everybody, and welcome to Greynoise Information Security Podcast, episode 119. Where are we?
We're at the Sin Shop
We're at the Sin Shop at
1075
American Pacific Drive.
Yes.
Sweet feet.
I'm a director here.
Henderson, Nevada. All right, now we got that out of the way. Does anybody have any announcements first?
Well, we are still the
Las Vegas Valley Hackerspace.
Hackerspace.
Crux,
Las Vegas Valley.
Crux was here, but he left. I
Yeah.
said Greynoise. We're Greynoise, the Information Security Podcast.
Who are we as people?
Who are we as people? Oh, right. Damn. I'm Doxy.
I'm Xenify.
I'm Smaction.
And I'm Richard Satchel.
This is a train wreck from the beginning.
Yep.
Does anybody have any announcements, though?
Do we have any announcements, Jing?
Not so far.
Okay.
No announcements.
No
Easy.
announcements.
I should
Easy.
check the meetup page.
No new business.
We'll announce announcements during the middle of the show if we have any announcements. I love it. So, first thing I want to get into, unless anybody has any other thing, I want to talk about EA first. I want to go back into our little segment, What the Fuck
Yeah.
Variable EA this week. So I'm sure all of you guys have heard about it.
Oh, I do. Did.
Right? So essentially, EA has released Star Wars Battlefront 2, and it's just a clusterfuck of a release and of a game. There's so many things wrong with it, but the biggest thing is it's it's using like a free-to-play model for a purchased game. So you pay $60 or whatever it is in your country. I think it's like 100 Canadian dollars. No, that's not right. Australian dollars. Yeah, it's like 100 Australian dollars, and even within that, you have to pay to unlock other base characters and stuff like. Obviously,
Like Darth Vader.
Everybody wants to play Darth Vader. You got to pay to unlock Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, blah 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 blah. So they're just really shitting on their users at this point.
So basically, for $60, you get some guy named Carl.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Not even Carl. You get Jar Jar.
Oh.
When you get the game,
Oh, man.
the only person you're coming out with is Jar Jar.
They should
So,
have to pay you to play Jar Jar.
Jeez, I would. You know, if they paid me to play Jar Jar, it wouldn't be so fucking bad. But it's really. What the fuck, right? It's such a shitty thing to do. Like, if the game was like a free-to-play model, like it comes out, you get the game, you have nobody, then you unlock them through hours of playing or through microtransactions. I'm cool with that. But to expect
You can unlock them at like years of playing.
yeah, it's the for the base to unlock a character is 60,000 credits, which is equivalent to 40 hours of gameplay, I think.
Yeah.
My numbers might be off.
Only one character.
That's one character, and
there's
there's teens of characters.
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy.
That's insane.
So you got to put in like a full work week of work, and then you get to have a different virtual
one
doll.
different character.
Yeah.
One different character, and I mean, and I think it's a loot box system, so I don't think it's even guaranteed who you're gonna get.
Oh, really?
Oh, you're kidding
Oh,
me.
So
Man.
I could be wrong on this part, but I'm pretty sure it's a loot box system. So that I know it's a loot box system, but I'm not sure if that applies to the characters as well, and I should fact check that. But as I understand it, you get the credits, you unlock it, and it's like you get some random stormtrooper. Nice. Good
You
job.
get Carl
You
again.
get Carl. welcome back, Carl.
I already had 2 Carls. God damn it.
So I already don't like this culture we live in of DLC and microtransactions and all this shit, but this is taking it to the next level.
It's pretty awful.
It's really shitting on their consumers, right?
Yeah.
So I don't understand why anyone is surprised by this, because I'm an old SimCity fan, and I don't know if you remember the freaking
Old
terrible
SimCity,
thing.
the single player one, or is it something
Oh,
different?
well, it was the single player one.
Oh, is it not anymore?
And then they did, then a few years ago, they decided to re-release SimCity, and they made it online exclusive. You had to play online.
Yes.
The cities were so much smaller, and just overall, it just kind of sucked.
The only thing I remember about SimCity was a couple years ago they released it, and it was a single player game, but even then you couldn't play unless you had an internet connection.
Exactly.
I don't like that trend either. Why do I need an internet connection to play single player offline games? Like, even if I want to play Call of Duty offline, you still need an internet connection to check for updates and blah blah all this stuff. But I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
I don't want
They
to.
can't
But-
control you if they can't control the updates.
That is true.
Yep.
And if you don't update the game, you can't play. It's a really everything about.
So if you didn't want to pay, or if you didn't want to play to unlock everything, you could just pay $1,000 to unlock the current characters.
That unlocks all the characters.
Just the current characters.
$1,000?
They're coming out with more. Yeah, $1,000 to unlock
$1,000.
all the current characters, but they're coming out with more characters.
Because they're definitely going to release DLC with other characters, especially after
Of course.
the Last Jedi comes out and whatever the next sequel will be titled, and then they're going to keep releasing characters, and that's fucking. I keep saying this, fucking terrible. What the fuck, EA? I can't. I mean, I get the reasoning behind it because there will be the 1 or 2 people who do pay an absorbent amount of money for all the characters, or for even 1 or 2 characters, and at that point, it makes it worth it. You get 1 million people to buy the base game, and then 1 or 2 people to buy the add-ons, and they're like, that works for us. It works, right?
Yeah. Not good.
I didn't know the game officially released today.
Was it? I thought it was Tuesday, or was it today?
Officially launches on November 17th.
Oh, was that today?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
in early access, you only got access to so many characters. You could still buy all the rest in early access.
Yeah.
But
Are they not merciful?
they're not.
Oh,
they don't
and-
give a shit.
And so on top of that, okay, so you know what? So EA heard our pleas and our cries, and they were like, you know what? We hear what you're saying. We don't want to upset our fan base, so they removed the microtransactions. They said you won't be able to buy any characters. You can only lock them to time spent in the game.
So you still need 60,000
You
credits.
still need all those credits, so you still have to play all that time. And they're taking it away for now, and they're gonna bring it back later. The way they word it is very very shifty.
Yeah, we'll bring back the ability to buy crystals at a later time or something like
at
that.
a later date,
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
So it's only gone for now to appease the journalists and the people that are saying, fuck EA, and they're gonna be like, oh, we took it away, look how good we are.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
listen, and then
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll buy the game then.
that's exactly people are gonna be like, you know what, they took it away, they listened to us, they're a cool company. And then 6 months from now they're gonna be like, remember those crystals? Surprise. And
Yeah.
then,
It's kind of
and
like
then
the
you fucked over.
hotels charging for parking on the strip.
Right?
You had free parking for so long, then they started charging. But they announced for most of the places, oh, but locals won't have to pay, right? Until December
For a year.
31st.
Yeah, and as a little caveat, you want to pay for another 2 months. We'll get you.
So a Reddit user calculated this out. On average, you get 275 credits per match. And then after all the calculations, basically, it'll require 2,400 minutes to unlock one game character, which is 39 hours.
Jesus, dude.
39 hours is for one character.
And
Why?
so I remember. So okay. So there's also a comment on the Star Wars Battlefront subreddit from where the developers were talking and whatnot. And I think it's one of the most downvoted comments on Reddit. It's like at 3/4 of a
Oh yeah, no,
million.
it's the most downvoted comment in Reddit history.
Yeah, it's at, I think when I last saw it,
In
it was
in a day.
in a day,
Yeah.
in a couple of hours, it was at like 690 something thousand downvotes. But regardless, they were trying to explain the reasoning behind putting stuff behind a paywall, and they were like, we want people to feel a sense of pride for unlocking the
Oh yeah,
characters.
it's right here. Yeah,
Do you want to read it?
so that's too much to read, dude.
It is a lot. So essentially, Cliff Notes version, they were saying we want players to feel a sense of pride and accomplishment in unlocking these characters and to feel like they've earned it, which I think is crazy to try to justify it that way. 40 hours, I can beat a lot of games in 40 hours.
Yeah.
And in that time, I'll have unlocked maybe one character. Maybe. Because let's say I'm a shitty player and I only get 100 credits per match.
Yeah.
It's going to take me twice as long, approximately. I don't know math.
That's ridiculous.
But it's going to take me an extremely long time to unlock characters. At that point, why would I even want to play?
And especially at that point, it's random.
Yeah, random. If it's random, which I'm not sure, I don't want to shit on them unnecessarily, but already, fuck you, EA. But I feel like if it's
Pretty much.
if it's random at that point, then I get nothing I want.
So someone that's watching sent a screenshot of this, and so they have the most downvoted comments in history. The second most downloaded is EA. Actually, out of the top 10 on here, there are 7.
There are 7.
So 7 out of 10 of the most downvoted comments in Reddit history is EA.
EA, you're doing whatever you're doing it really well. You know, you're really good at being shitty.
Yeah.
If you're going for being shitty, you're doing a really good
You know,
job.
go big or go home.
You know,
You know?
when you're like, you know what, I'm gonna be the worst company I can possibly be. You're doing a fantastic job.
Fucking nailed it.
But
right
it
there.
sucks because people keep buying their shit.
And I think that's
Like,
a
did you see
problem.
Origin? Like when that
Assassin's
came out?
Creed?
No, I'm just talking about their game client Origin. where
Oh
they try
yeah.
to compete with- That's horrible.
Origin. But again, I want to go back to the whole DLC and microtransaction state. I think that's a shitty way for game companies to run businesses. Like before, when you buy, like if you buy a Call of Duty, if you buy whatever, before you even buy the game, they're like, just so you know we have other stuff for you. You just can't have it now. You're going to pay another $20 or $30 in the future to get this stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a really shitty business model. Community Mike?
A long time ago, when MMOs first started going out there and all these games first hit the market, they did a subscription. But when people got to a point where they no longer enjoyed the game anymore, they simply stopped paying. So they stopped making money. Now they do this microtransaction thing where you get the instant gratification that people crave and they get their profit.
Yes. People do crave instant gratification. And it is nice, like, oh, I paid $20, I got a character. It's very nice. I'm not a fan of it. What I am a fan of is Blizzard.
Okay.
For-
So I was about to say.
For instance, if you listen to the podcast, I'm a huge Overwatch fan.
Right.
Same.
All the characters, all the maps are unlocked for free periodically as they come about. The only thing that you can buy are loot boxes, which contain purely cosmetic items,
Yeah.
costumes and emotes and whatnot.
And I've spent a lot of money on that game.
I have to.
Really?
Yeah.
Me?
Really? On
I
loot
Yeah,
barely
so I was
play.
about to say, I hate microtransactions. I hate all that. But yeah, probably. Well, when I say a lot of money, I mean it's probably a lot of money. About $300.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're not paying to win. It's not affecting the game in any way. All
Yeah,
it
it's
is
just purely
is
cosmetic because I
it's-
wanted that Witch Mercy skin.
I mean, if
But see, I got enough gold at one point. I just bought it outright.
yeah, I've got a ton of gold. I play a lot of Overwatch. But anyway, I feel like I'm okay with that. If we're going to call that microtransaction as well, I'm more than okay with that. If it's purely cosmetic or something that's not critical to the game, I don't care. That's fine. We'll buy it if we want, and it won't change anything.
Well, even if you look at Team Fortress 2, right?
Yeah.
They come out with all these weapons.
Purely, yeah.
Well, not just purely cosmetic. They have the new weapons too. You can get them as drops, but if you're just like, hey, I want the new whatever the hell, I've stopped playing years ago.
Yeah.
But I want the new whatever weapon for the pyro. I can just go to their website and buy it. But it's $2.
yeah.
It's not.
It's not.
50.
And
Or
I-
like cents on the dollar.
Yeah.
Like for some of the stuff.
Yeah.
and that's okay. That's at a level that's more or less okay. I only have a problem where it's like a pay to win. Like if you buy if you buy Darth Vader, you're gonna be shitting on people in Star Wars. I can only assume he's top 3 strongest characters in the game, and that's not fair.
Oh, so they all have different stats and.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're all,
They all have different abilities.
well,
so.
then that's
Yeah.
freaking terrible.
It's even now. It's even shittier, right?
Yeah.
It goes. It's a level beyond.
Wow.
So EA's just fucking up after fucking up. I don't. And so EA has a lot of shit to do to come back into my good graces. But as far as like DLC and transactions and microtransactions, for me the best option is like what Blizzard does, is purely cosmetic or non-game critical items.
What Richard mentioned was with TF2, I think the best method is a little bit of Blizzard, but with TF2, there's an actual community amongst the players who sell stuff.
Yeah.
I sold a TF2 hat for like $390
What?
one year.
What?
It was a TF2 hat that I got. It went for $390 online, and I bought the shit out of all of their holiday stuff on Steam because I just got $390 from some guy in Russia.
And also, but that's good because you have that rapport built up with the company that you know they're not going to fuck you over with, like EA is continually doing. But I mean, it's at that point it's okay because you're supporting the game that you love. Because at that point we already love Team Fortress 2. We love the stuff that they create and whatnot. So you know, we can assume, we don't know, corporations are faceless, but we assume they're not going to fuck you over at that point and be like, just kidding, everything's behind a paywall now.
Yeah.
And I'm more than okay with buying stuff for companies that I like, for lack of a better term. Like if like Blizzard does, I don't care about buying Blizzard stuff because they do good stuff. I enjoy their games.
Yeah.
I don't mind supporting them, but EA, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And I love Star Wars. I'm a huge Star Wars fan.
Yeah, you're like the biggest Star Wars fan here.
Yeah, and now I can't even play this. I mean, I could, but now I can't even play this game because I refuse to support them. Ooh, that's another thing. Don't pre-order.
Oh yeah.
Nobody pre-order. They're not running out of any games. You can't run out of digital copies of games. there's no danger.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Because the only reason you pre-ordered back in like the GameStop days,
when you could run out of physical copies, and how they get you.
you wanted that shit day one.
How they get you is the pay-to-win stuff. If you pre-order, you get the Mega Buster gun, and now you're a level above everybody else, which is also shitty. So don't pre-order. Community Mike?
Pre-order has to do with them collecting money on a product they haven't given out yet.
Yeah.
They put that money in the bank, slush it, and then they give you your product later while they're collecting interest on your money.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they're still releasing. They're still going to be like, you pre-order, you get stuff, and they're still like, well, we have more DLC, so prepare to buy more stuff from us. And I think that as a whole, all of that's shitty.
I don't think I've regretted a pre-order yet.
The only game I pre-ordered, the last game I pre-ordered was Call of Duty Black Ops. That's the last one I pre-ordered. And after that, I was like, why would I do this?
I think mine was Portal 2.
I pre-ordered No Man's Sky.
Did
Oh,
you?
geez.
No regrets.
Really?
Not one.
I had a lot of regrets in No Man's Sky.
I heard all my regrets from this guy.
You what?
Yeah.
I heard all the regrets from this guy.
Yeah.
And that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, we
That's a
can
whole
say
other
that for
thing.
afterwards.
For a
I
video
mean-
game podcast.
Yeah. It's No Man's
It is
Sky
now.
was they're better now, from what I hear.
Oh, yeah.
But there's still lost a lot of trust in that launch.
Yeah,
It's
after,
a thing.
after.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
So to wrap it up, I just want to say, what the fuck, EA, and also don't pre-order games. You're only helping them be shittier companies. It's it. That's all it is.
Fair enough.
And you wanted to talk about ATCS or AC.
We know what we're talking about next.
We are total professionals.
We're super professional. It's a string of letters, and I forgot what they are. ACTS 3.0.
ATSC.
ATSC. Is that what I said?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, ATSC 3.0. Do you want to give us a rundown?
So, well, the basic gist of it is they're coming out with the new, basically a new format to do. Is it over? No, it's not over the air. It's basically a way to a format for TV on broadband,
Right.
essentially. And one of the controversies about it is the fact that they can uniquely identify users, which people are concerned is going to lead to targeted ads. So the thing with that is, I don't necessarily have a problem with that.
I do.
Okay.
So I just want to say, well, first, I don't understand why all these companies. I mean, I understand why they want to track me, but I don't want them to track. Really, I don't want them to track me. I don't need targeted ads on my TV. Generic car sales ads are good enough. Even those are too much, is why I don't have cable. But if I don't want those regular ads, I definitely don't want Target ads about whatever I'm doing in my apartment or whatever I talk about, because I believe it's from them
gets
listening to you
weird,
as well.
yeah.
I don't want to talk
that-
about Snuggies and all of a sudden I'm getting ads for Snuggies or whatever.
We're
hot
all getting
chocolate and
fucking
stuff.
ads for
Why are you
Snuggies
talking
later.
about Snuggies in your apartment?
Why would you not talk about Snuggies in your apartment? Is my question. How else can you get comfortable with your hands free at the same time?
All of a sudden, everyone's YouTube results is now Snuggies. You realize that?
First off, you're welcome. Also, everybody gets Snuggies because they're amazing. So
Snuggie,
that's-
please contact us.
That's a thing. But that's the thing. I don't want to be tracked, and I don't want targeted ads. I don't want everything I have tracking me. It's already an issue with my laptop, with Google Home devices if you have them, Amazon Echoes, every app, your phone, everything's already tracking you. Why my TV now too? Shit.
At 2 TV?
At 2 TV? Yeah. So I know you're on the other side of it. Kind of.
It's kind of like, with that thing that we were talking about
Like a
earlier.
caveat.
There's a little asterisk on it. But no, my personal thing is that the only reason I can see that it would be good to have something like this, one word, community. Right?
Community.
That show.
The show Community
the
with
show
Donald
Community.
Glover?
Yes.
I know Community.
I know you do.
Donald Glover is.
Well, you're streets ahead.
I dig it.
So the thing is that one of the reasons that show had so many problems is because the way the Nielsen ratings are done is by people writing things on dead tree carcasses and sending it in.
Yes.
Something that the community audience is probably not.
I have never filled out a paper.
There you go.
Paper
Thing.
thing. I'll just say that.
So
Nielsen does it more than one way, though.
Do they do it more? I'm pretty sure they have email stuff too now.
No,
right?
they also have. A long time ago, they tested out stuff that you would attach to your TV.
yeah, cable box type
Yeah.
of deal. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw that in a TV
But then
show,
you
I
had to punch in your code and
that
what
one I
member
wasn't
of the
aware of.
family you were. Are you number one or no?
Okay.
Even that was clunky. I hear what you're saying, but see, this way they can get live information on who's watching what, and we might have now the 10th season of Greg the Bunny.
Okay, I get that. I get what you're saying, and that would be good. But why?
But to do that, they don't have to tie it to anything to track you individually.
That's what I was going to say.
Plus, Nielsen, as an example, sticking to the Nielsen example, you don't want to keep using the same test families over and over again.
Well, your test audience would be literally everyone.
But I mean, and I know they need it. I knew they need it for demographic purposes to track like what age range, what ethnicity, or whatever's watching the shows and whatnot. If we could do it without that, like if they were just monitoring what shows I watch and be like, this many people watch this show, I guess I'm kind of okay with that. But I know that's not what it is. I know it's a step beyond that. It's like, this guy's watching this show and also doing this while he's watching this show.
He was talking about Snuggies.
Snuggies and shit while he's watching the show. So, I don't, that's the part I don't like. But I didn't even think about that as far as more accurate reporting of what shows people actually watch, which is cool.
I mean, the way Netflix tracks theirs,
I don't know how they do it, actually.
Well, no, through their whole tracking, that's why they're making all these Netflix original shows and why everybody loves them so much.
Because they know what people are watching.
They know what people are watching, why they're watching, just all of that.
Well, it's
And
more
s-
than that.
Yeah.
They know what scene someone checks out on.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Well, because
When did they?
When
What?
you log off.
What's
Yeah.
the run time of when you stop playing? When did you hit the stop button? When did you hit the back button?
so then their analytics
Oh.
team will look at that scene and go, "This is why people don't like that," and they're not going to put that in their original.
Yep.
Oh, I just let shows run. If I get bored, I just leave. Like, I don't turn the
And
shows
that's
off.
why they're listening to our podcast now, and they're just going to write you off as
They
an
should
anomaly.
write me off because I never turn Netflix off. I watch it throughout the day, and then when I go to sleep, I don't pause it like a normal person. I just let it play, and then it just it does stop. It does stop
yeah.
after a while. It says, "Are you still watching?" Whatever
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
happens.
That's
which
why
is
you get
cool.
a tasker profile to auto tap the
Never
thing.
sleep.
I can't have a tasker profile on my PS4. Can you?
Well, no, but you could probably get you could.
Like
I know of a way to explain this in home automation standards, but I don't know if we want to do that right now.
Let's
Get a
do it,
Logitech
yeah.
Harmony, get Tasker, tell it to hit the button when that shit pops up on the, do it that way.
Can you? Wait,
A Logitech Harmony controls like
your TV, like everything, right?
Yeah, controls
But
everything.
your phone can tell your controller to do stuff.
Yeah, your phone, like through Google Home or Tasker, you could have it tell the controller to press play again. And so you could probably set up a Tasker profile when it stops hearing sounds, like, oh, I should hit this button right now.
Oh shit! I didn't even realize you could do that.
Yeah, man.
I'm way behind on my
Fucking
automation
automate
game.
everything.
I'm way behind on my automation
Streets
game.
behind.
There's probably
Streets
an easier
behind.
way to do that, but right off the top of my head, that's probably how I do it.
That makes sense. I didn't realize your phone. I didn't realize Tasker could interface with
Yeah,
Logitech Harmony remotes.
yeah.
Well, I've got some experimenting to do this
Especially
weekend.
if there's a Logitech Harmony app on your phone, you could go a super long way. But I assure you, there's a plugin.
Yeah, I've got some research to do this weekend. I've never thought about it, but that makes sense. But that's for my own thing because I don't want to turn the TV off when I go to sleep. Because once you're comfortable, you don't want to get up, right? You just want to go to sleep. But that's neither here nor there. I really don't know how I feel about ATSC. I don't want targeted ads. It's already weird enough when I get ads.
I'm like, I don't want targeted ads, and I don't want people listening to me. But I also have a terrible habit of spending money on useless shit. And if I get recommended to buy something that I didn't know I wanted, I'm probably gonna buy it.
Possibly.
And now you know why they desperately want to target
Yeah.
ads.
Because
That's why I'm everywhere on Google.
we'll say 7 out of 10 people won't do it, but the 3 who do they're like, fuck, that's the gold
Yeah.
mine. Community.
I bought an item online. All I got for months after that were advertisements for the same item I already bought.
You know, I have noticed that about online
Yeah, it's-
advertising too. And, like, for instance, I'll go to a store online and I'll look at an item and I'll go, that is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. So, of course, I go to another item, but I will see ads on all different websites for that ugly item I looked at.
See, that works for me because I only buy one. Like, I wear Vans shoes, and I only wear Vans shoes, except for right now I'm wearing Converse. But normally I only wear Vans shoes.
Yeah, but
and
don't
I,
you
and
do
I
have
buy the
different
same.
styles?
Nope, I wear black Vans. That's it. Every time I buy shoes, I buy another pair of black Vans. I had to wear these because I had a hole in my black Vans. And I just happen to have these, but that's neither here nor there. I wear the same thing all the time. When I buy pants, I buy the same exact pants every time. I buy a pair of red pants, a pair of gray pants. Don't look at my pants, dude.
Sure.
That's it.
I look at your pants.
I have a single thing I do. I'm very.
Is this like an Einstein model? You don't want to be bothered with.
I guess so. I mean, I don't like I don't like shopping really, and it's easy. I mean, every place everywhere in America is going to have black Vans. There's nowhere I couldn't go to buy black Vans, but that's another thing.
I mean, you probably
Now,
can't buy them
the
at
other
gas
half of
station.
that is the whole time I was getting these ads for the item I had already purchased, my search engine was coming up for the same things, and I wasn't able to find anything else because the first 2 or 3 pages concerned the item I had already bought.
You know what you got to do? Advanced Googling. When you type in that search item, do a dash minus whatever product they're showing you. Won't show up in your results. Boom.
Just
No
tell
more.
Alexa you already
Why don't
bought
they
it.
just,
It'll filter.
yeah, why don't you just get over the fact that I already bought one and stop trying to sell me one that I already have?
I don't know, man. I'm just trying to help the people. I don't know.
We don't make the news. We just report it.
Yeah. I'm just here to help. I don't know anything really. I'm just here to help with what little I can.
Yeah.
So I think we're done with ATSC. I don't have much to say on it. I don't want targeted. Really, I don't want targeted ads. But I guess it really doesn't matter because it's going to happen anyway. So now I have to think about ways to stop my TV from targeting me with ads.
I don't like
Well,
the,
you don't have cable. What
Do
do
you have a smart TV?
I do have a smart TV.
Then man, you're fucked already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shit.
It's already done.
Shit. All right, well, bring on the targeted ads.
I don't want any ads. Like I pay extra. I pay for all the things so that I
Yeah,
don't
no,
see
that's
ads.
true.
Like I got YouTube Red. I got the.
I
I got
Red.
YouTube Live,
Yeah.
YouTube Live TV, and so that's like $35 a month.
Is it
But I'm
good?
I didn't even know
I mean,
that was
it's
a
great.
thing.
I love it, but
Yeah?
I mean, yeah, I do. But I still get ads, still get commercials
Oh.
because I watch football games on there.
Oh yeah, if you're
Yeah.
watching like
Oh,
broadcast
their TV service.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
YouTube Live TV.
Speaking of which, this is a nice segue, unless you got something you want to talk about.
No.
Yes. Google is still rolling out Google Fiber, which I thought they had stopped for a while.
Yeah, and they
But they just rolled it out to San Antonio.
discounted it in Austin.
Was it Austin? It was.
Yeah.
I think it was either. I think it was Austin. I think
It was
you're right.
definitely Austin because I saw a tweet about it earlier.
And now they're unbundling it, so now you get the 1 gig service for $55 a month, and then if you want, you can do YouTube Live on top of that, and altogether for the gig service and YouTube Live, it's $70 a month, and it comes with an NVIDIA Shield for your TV watching purposes.
Shut up
They're
and
gonna
take
be
my
out
money.
here. Oh,
That's
man.
an amazing fucking deal.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too into it, but off the top of my head, CenturyLink for their gigabit service is 85, and you get nothing else with that. It's just gigabit, and I don't even know if it's
Is
good
this all
gig.
unlimited too?
No data caps. No data
I
caps.
have data caps right now with Cox.
Yes, as a caveat, CenturyLink at the moment doesn't have. They have data caps for their other services, but for their gig, they don't have data caps.
Yeah, but isn't their gig service in like 3 apartment complexes or something?
That's the problem. CenturyLink
Yeah.
is not. It's not. It's like a step above Google, just barely
Yeah.
as far as where their footprint is. Cox.
Right now, I think I'm paying
Cox.
125 a month
Yeah.
For gigabit?
for just Cox's max plan, but it's also the unlimited plan.
Wait. So you do not have a data cap?
No, I don't have a data cap because I was
bought
getting
that?
too close every month. Because I was paying like 90, I think, but you could upgrade to the unlimited version with no data cap, and I had to do that because I was getting too close every month.
You should look at their not their fiber, but their gig plan, because that's only 120. That's only 120, unless I guess they don't have it in your area.
They might not because during the selection process, I thought I had the max I could get.
When did you do it? Like a year ago?
What do you mean?
Like when did you sign up for the service?
I've lived in that house for 19 years. So.
No, okay. You didn't have. Okay, when did you get the new Cox?
Oh, no, I've always had Cox there.
When
I
did
know,
you
but
get the new service that
when did you
no
upgrade to the new
caps?
one?
I don't
Cox?
think I have upgraded the new. I mean,
You know,
like,
the
to
new one
high
with
speed.
the unlimited.
Oh,
you
like 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
The new.
Do we need to be here for this meeting?
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. let us-
I was like, wait, do you not have Cox? What's going on? Community Mike.
I've had Cox before with their maximum plan, and the cost was okay, but their connectivity wasn't.
Yeah, the
I kept
connectivity
having
sucks.
connectivity issues.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They have outages frequently.
and the worst thing to me was when they had an outage and they didn't know about it. They told me they didn't have an outage.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm not getting internet right now, dude. It's your stuff. All right, fuck you guys.
That's what they said to me too. I went out and bought a new modem. Later that I just discovered probably wasn't the modem.
It was not the modem.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the modem.
Yeah,
But
that sucks.
whatever. I'm surprised they don't. Well, I don't know where you live, so I'm surprised they don't have it in your area. But anyway, back to the prices. I think it's 120 for what do you get, like 300?
Yeah.
Yeah. So really, the point of it is, I really wish Google would come here and give us better service
Please, Google, come
for,
here.
for
Yes.
cheaper money.
Well, see now when they started out with that Project Loon, where they float up the air balloons,
I wanted that too.
the Valley would be perfect for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Especially if they fly it over like CES or something.
Oh.
Because man, when you go to CES, there is no freaking coverage there.
That's right. Yeah.
You can barely use a cell phone. let
Yeah,
alone-
I mean, 250,000 people in one spot. Those towers are crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
All trying to phone home.
Yeah.
And I know they have to do it in pieces because it's very. So I think the problem is it's very hard for them to get cities and towns and whatnot to allow them to build out on the existing fiber because either AT&T, CenturyLink, Verizon, or some other shitty company outbids them or blocks them
Yeah.
from buying it some way, so they can't do much. It's
Well, the
not-
biggest problem they have is the incumbents that paid a monopoly
That pay, yeah.
franchise
Yes.
to build the existing infrastructure,
Right.
whatever it is.
pockets are getting in line with that AT&T
Yeah,
money.
and so then the local government is beholden to them, for all these years. And
Yeah, which
So
is
now,
really shitty.
didn't they retitle them as common carriers?
the drama continues.
Of course it does.
So wait,
Right.
what are common carriers, or what
Yeah, you
what
wanna-
does that mean?
All right, so a common carrier is something like a regular telephone.
Okay.
In other words, when you have a service that's like that, there are a whole bunch of rules that come into play in FCC land. Things like you have to provide service on a non-discriminatory basis, and they have the things like Lifeline have to be available. All sorts of a myriad of
Emergency
things.
911.
Yeah, a bunch of things that I have no clue. But really, what this revolves around is when we talk about net neutrality. What you're talking about is also the idea of being classified as a common carrier.
That was the other thing we are going to talk about.
What
That was the other thing we are going to talk about tonight. Is net
Neutrality?
neutrality.
is net neutrality?
Yeah.
That's a nice segue, but you can finish up.
Okay, so the whole saga starts with they were doing everything to maintain, under the Obama FCC, they were doing everything they could to maintain net neutrality without having to reclassify the internet providers as a common carrier, because that they that restricts them a lot, and they wanted to leave a lot of the business model open at the behest of the carriers.
Right.
But they still wanted to maintain net neutrality. Basically what happened is the carriers went to court and sued, saying, no, these net neutrality rules can't apply to us because we're not common carriers, and the court agreed.
Oh, shit.
Okay. So then the Obama administration went, fine, we'll reclassify you as a common carrier. And of course, they're screaming about that. And now we have a new administration who is going to unclassify them as a common carrier.
Oh, they are.
God damn it.
Oh, good.
God damn it. So
yeah, net neutrality is on its way out.
So speaking of net neutrality, rolling over that, do you want to give us a broad overview of
I don't
net
have a broad
neutrality?
overview.
Of net. Well, I feel like you can explain it probably the best of like what net neutrality is, what it means to the common consumer.
Okay, so the best way I guess I can explain this is net neutrality right now. You go to a website, any website, be it big or small, you get it served up to you at the same speed.
Yeah.
Okay. With non-net neutrality, you could pay a fee in order to have higher speed for other websites. They could charge, the one model they're looking at is charging the big websites fees to be downloaded at competitive speeds to the consumers that those people control.
Right.
Without getting too much into all the different technical things, the best way you can imagine it is if you get rid of net neutrality, you're going to buy internet packages the way you buy cable TV packages.
Well, I think this is the
there,
easiest way to
there will
explain
be
it.
in other words, if you want sports sites, you will pay for the sports package on your Cox Internet.
Yeah.
If you want,
Like social media sites, you
Right,
gotta get the
exactly.
social app and
So it's a
and you're going to pay, and remember, you're already paying for
That
dial
service.
tone in essence. You know,
Yeah.
if we look at the old model, right, you've got internet access, and it shouldn't matter what goes over that internet. You're paying for the
Yeah.
bandwidth.
Right.
so shitty thing.
and they keep bringing it back. Like we were talking with the other co-host BGM earlier, and he was mentioning everyone's constantly voting against it. Like you
Yeah.
know, like no, we don't want that, but they keep bringing it back every fucking time.
Which
Right.
is a shitty thing.
Well,
on
I
our
think two
government's
things are going on there. One is when moneyed interests are involved, the fight is perpetual.
part. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And if you want an example that we're still arguing about Social Security, and that was put in the 1930s.
Amen.
Yeah.
So, you know, when there's money involved, it's perpetual. The second thing is that people keep voting against it in the sense that there are internet polls or there are comments that are made on the FCC sites, but those are from a real small minority of people because most people, this issue is not on the radar.
Yeah.
You know, and even if it is, they don't understand it. It's not the simplest thing to put into a
meme.
a meme. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I mean, 15 years ago, the resounding response to the desire for net neutrality was, it's a solution in search of a problem,
Yeah.
because of course there was net neutrality at the time, so of course there was no problem.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
But that's the latest and greatest that I'm aware of on net neutrality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only new thing is that they have brought it back once again to try and get rid of net neutrality.
Yeah, and they're going to succeed this time.
You think so?
Yeah,
Why is that?
because the Trump administration has put into place an FCC that has made it very clear that net neutrality is on the way out in all of their.
But now, so we mentioned before about the moneyed interests, squeezing out like Google Fiber and stuff like that,
Right.
right? But in this situation, isn't it a thing to where like companies like Netflix or Hulu, Disney for that matter?
Interesting thing. So, in past fights, Microsoft, Google, Netflix, all fighting for net neutrality.
Right.
I think the calculus has changed. Number one is they figured out a way in their models apparently that they can live with it, because they're not coming out as loudly anymore. And I think that's twofold. I think one is their corporate models are adapting. You know, they figured out a way that we can make money either way. You know, and we've got a plan. And the second thing is that I don't think you go very far always bucking the administration that's currently in power. And corporations are about getting their way on certain things and letting them have their way on politicians have their way on everything.
Choosing your
else.
battles.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I think that's the perfect storm headed our way.
Crap.
So what do you think can be done to prevent that, or are we just kind of fucked?
Well, there's an election in 2018.
Yes, there is.
I mean,
that is the only hope, because obviously Congress can override the FCC.
right.
Oh, they can.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and so
Community Mike?
All right, the FCC, they put the satellites up. The individual companies bid money for time. Highest bidder gets whatever they want. Now, by getting the most bandwidth, they prevent other companies from getting the same bandwidth. And that's why they bid more money, and that's why we're getting screwed in the end.
The government just hates us.
Well, no, they want to extract as much money as possible out of us, and
Yeah.
and that's one thing. A company as an entity has a fiduciary responsibility to its shareholders to maximize profit by any means necessary.
and they've been doing that quite well.
Jesus, yeah.
But so those are the latest on net neutrality that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
The election is the big way. The other thing is that your current this breaks down along party lines to an extent right now.
Yeah.
So if you're represented by a Republican member of Congress, they would be the people to pressure if you want net neutrality, because the Democrats, by and large, are pro net neutrality. There are some exceptions because Democrats take money from Cox and CenturyLink and have corporate offices in their districts for all those things too. But for the most part, it breaks down along party lines.
Okay. So I think I'm over net neutrality at this point. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not over it. I'm not
I was
over
gonna
it.
say, well,
I'm not over it.
honestly, I think that's kind of what the whole point of this is. They're going to keep it up, and eventually people are going to get sick of protesting. Oh my God, we're going to write letters again. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm going to call people again. Screw it.
All it takes is one slip up. I mean, I don't want to do it today. Fuck, it's gone. It's that fast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. We live in a weird world right now. That's cool, though.
Can I bring up a quick little thing unrelated to net neutrality, but on the same side of the idea with government?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
And that is of course, the other thing that the government has a lot of interest in is encryption.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here it
That's
comes.
that's a
We
thing.
know.
Yeah, and of course wanting to break encryption. And so the DOJ, and this is not this goes across party lines. The DOJ and the federal government in general have wanted to have some kind of way to get either a backdoor into encryption, some way to decrypt things when a warrant is presented or some kind of government document is presented. And that's antithetical to the idea of good encryption, because if good encryption can be broken, it's not good encryption.
Yeah. Just because the good guys have a backdoor doesn't mean the bad guys,
Good guys.
will not
Oh,
get.
good guys.
Yeah, good guys.
Right.
Good guys, yeah.
We used air quotes.
That's for Chen. Good guys.
Good guys.
Okay. So the latest, this is from Tech Dirt, and it was just a little blurb this week. Okay. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein continues his push for law enforcement-friendly broken encryption. The ultimate goal is the same, but the arguments just keep getting worse. Trying to pitch worthless encryption, i.e. encryption easily compromised in response to government demands, as responsible encryption.
Nope.
is only the beginning. Another of the bad analogies is Rosenstein has managed to top himself. The path to Rosenstein's slaughtering of a metaphor runs through such highlights as the Deputy Attorney General claiming device encryption is solely motivated by profits, and that this is the first time in history law enforcement hasn't had access to all forms of evidence. But his latest analogy is encryption is like a locked house that won't let the owners back inside.
Whoa. Wait a minute, though. Unpack that. Won't let the owners back inside. So who's the owners in that?
That's a good question. I just assumed
did
it
you-
was the person who was encrypting.
No.
I mean,
Won't let its owners back. Because the guy who encrypted it, he can get back in it.
Yeah.
right, because they're in the house. He's in the house. Or
But that's the
she-
quote of the week for me.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Can we wait?
That's only half the story. The other half is all these politicians want encryption for their stuff and their files, but not for the general public.
Right.
That's true.
But now, how could you possibly even ban that? Because as soon as you do, right, there's going to be some guy in his basement that comes up with a better encryption thing.
Oh, yes, absolutely. First off, Strong is responsible. You know, backdoors are the devil's ass, whatever. I don't have a good quote for that or whatever.
Okay.
But Strong is responsible, and that's asinine.
First of all, there are places that really need strong encryption without
Every
a
place
backdoor.
needs strong encryption. No place, anything that uses encryption, anything. If you have a backdoor, that defeats the whole purpose of having encryption.
Right. No, I'm saying, but not everything needs to be encrypted, I guess is my point.
Oh,
But
yeah.
when it does need to be encrypted,
Yeah.
there are places that really need it severely. I mean, like, you know, you talk about aid workers in foreign countries and, you know, relying on signal and things like that.
Right.
And so to kind of go, oh, this is irresponsible, or to go, no, we need to invent a back door. It's like Xenophi was saying, it's, you know, you may have good intentions, which is a big if.
Yeah, big if. Air quotes, big if.
Yeah.
You know, but someone else doesn't have good intentions, or
Well, the FBI brings up the encryption case every time there's a mass shooting.
Right.
They can never get it. I don't know why every shooter has an iPhone.
You know, if only there was some common thing that all the shooters had that maybe we could like restrict somehow.
Yeah.
That would keep people from shooting people
Or maybe,
so much.
or maybe treat them mental health issues, but that's not a topic for Greynoise.
No, of course not. No.
although you bring up an interesting point that we should ban the combination of phones, ban the combinations of weapons and iPhones, that you
Yeah.
can have one or the other but not both.
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
what you're
There's
going
definitely a
with?
ballot out there.
Obviously, if you've got an iPhone, you're dangerous. If you've got an iPhone,
wait a
and
minute.
AK, you're kind of dangerous.
We'll just game this out though, because if that were the case, there'd be a lot less guns.
If you had to choose between having an iPhone and
Yeah, you have to choose. If you don't, if you have an iPhone, then
can't have a gun.
You can't have a gun.
I know what I choose,
See,
and I can't play Flappy Bird on an AK.
you can't do it. You can't do it. Flip, 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 bang.
I
Oh,
mean-
shit.
I mean, I guess I could. It just wouldn't be as fun.
Oh, you don't know yet.
Yeah. But as always, Strong is responsible, and no one can ever convince me that a backdoor to any sort of encryption is a thing that we need. Never. That's a hard line in the sand. I guess if it's a hard line in the sand. Backdoors to encryption is never the case, because it's a slippery slope. And if they have it, if the good guys have it, a backdoor, so do the bad guys.
So we have
Everyone's got a
models for
backdoor.
regulating encryption in this country that we used to use. I don't think they're currently used. But one thing is encryption was regulated like a munition. So
Oh,
you
wow.
could have strong encryption in the U.S. There wasn't anything you could do about it here. People could have it, but it was illegal to export to other countries.
Like we could share encryption with other countries. Is that what you're
Right.
saying?
Did that
Yeah.
ever change?
It did. And it changed because two arguments carried the day. One is that they were able to convince the government that all it was doing was keeping American companies from making money on encryption that foreign companies could sell all over the world.
Right.
The second thing is they pointed out that it was the way the law was, it was the software, right, that was treated as a munition, if you will.
Right. Right.
Okay, so that meant that if I took a program and I compiled it and put it on a device, I couldn't share that. That had to get a license. But if I sold you a book that had my algorithm in it, that was freedom of expression. I could ship that all over the world. So the code could literally be written in the book, but as long as it wasn't compiled on an electronic device, it was legal to send.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so they got rid
So
of it.
wait. Kind of a side note here. Would that same thing apply to like the DVD? You remember when they cracked the DVD?
Oh, the
decode?
zone codes are
Yeah. So
I don't know.
If you type that out on a piece of paper, would that be legal?
I don't know. That's a good question,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
I don't know. I'm only a chapter in the other one.
Yeah. Sorry.
I only have-
That's okay.
No, I was distracted by
That'll happen.
that. Whatever.
That distraction.
Distraction.
And then just to add one little thing, since we're talking about the need for encryption and everything else, this is just a little blurb from CNBC. The fashion retailer Forever 21 said on Tuesday that there had been an unauthorized access to data from payment cards used at certain stores.
Yeah.
And they have not released which stores or how many cards yet.
Yeah, and that's when I was thinking of backdoors. That's what I was thinking. I was like, because once we have backdoors into credit card payments or merchant gateways and stuff like that, then I won't feel safe buying anything anywhere.
Yeah. We'll go back to using cash. Or,
And I never have cash. If you ask anybody who knows me, it's always a problem. I never carry cash because why would I? But anyway, I would never feel safe buying anything from
it drives
any
my
online retailer.
It drives my wife crazy that I don't carry cash.
Yeah, a lot of people, and people are like, why wouldn't you have cash? Why would I have
Why
cash?
would I have? Yeah.
This is 2017, but whatever. That's a topic for another day.
Oh! Here it comes. Here it
The
comes.
community mic is hot tonight.
Why would you have cash?
Why
Why
you
would I have cash?
Yeah.
Why would you have cash? Oh my God.
There's nothing I do in my day-to-day life where I would ever, and obviously there are outliers where maybe, I can't even think of anything, but maybe at some point I need to pay for something with cash, but nothing in my day-to-day normal life would ever require cash.
I've got $8 in my wallet, and I've had it there for months.
I've gotten over the shame of charging $1.08 to buy a drink somewhere.
Oh, I have no shame. I have zero shame.
Yep, none.
Why would I have cash?
Why would you have cash?
Now, nobody out there knows who I am, and I'm not on the screen, so I can go ahead and say
You're
this. When I was a
anonymous.
kid, my uncle would use trade things other than cash because he owed a lot of money to a lot of people, mainly the federal government.
Yep.
But he would use weed. He would use
To
skills.
the federal government?
He owed money to the federal
Yeah.
government.
But he didn't give them
used,
weed.
he used
Okay,
an
sorry.
alternate currency.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry. My bad.
He used an alternate currency. Well, today it's like Bitcoin and
Yeah.
things like that. But
Right.
back then he used weed, he used drugs, he used his physical skills, his whatever skills he had. But he told me, above and beyond, cash is always king because cash is so much more fluid than plastic. You can go anywhere with cash. You can buy anything with cash. But you walk up to a store that has no connections for credit cards, and they're going to say, I'm sorry, I realize you're out of gas, but you ain't got no cash.
Well, unless
And-
you're in Bangalore, you're
No,
not
I-
going to find that place.
And I was going to say, I'm assuming this was, we'll say, this was quite a few years ago. There's no place I could walk a mile in either direction and buy not anything, but buy anything I was going to buy, I could use a card with.
Yeah.
That's here in Las Vegas only.
That's
But you go to a junkyard and they say cash only, and you need that part for your hot rod,
I go to pick apart constantly, and they take credit cards now.
they do take
they
credit
even have the
cards
little
now.
square reader thing.
Yeah.
Because I
I go to the really creepy junkyards where you got some
I'm
guy
not-
behind a counter and
I don't-
coveralls,
Yeah,
and
I
that's
don't
it.
I don't want to get kidnapped.
But he's got that
until-
671 Wii and blower that you can't find anywhere, and he takes cash only.
And that's what I mean. Outside of outliers, like these extremely creepy junkyards, outside of that, there's no place I would ever go that I could ever imagine myself going to. Only place I go to is McDonald's, the
Yeah.
gas station, and my apartment. All those places take credit cards.
So
Or
how
like
many of these
plastic.
weed dispensaries take credit cards?
None.
and
that's,
actually-
that's
What's that?
different.
And that's
I mean,
that's-
what?
that's-
How many of these dispensaries, weed dispensaries, take credit
They
cards?
Oh, they can't. Yeah.
And that's
Exactly.
That's actually interesting that you bring that up, because I met and we're going to talk about this on a later show.
yeah.
I met the co-founder of a cryptocurrency called Tokes, which is being used to buy products at dispensaries, so you can transfer your
Oh, is that
cash.
what it was for?
That's what it's used for, to transfer your cash into a currency that you can use at dispensaries other than actual physical cash. He'll be on the show in a few weeks, but we'll talk about that later. But as of now, yeah, dispensaries only take cash. You were right, but I don't smoke weed. I'm not down with the guy.
Yeah.
Just sell.
See, I don't either, but that's the point. Is you show up with a credit card, they're going to be like, "Yeah, hit the bricks, guy."
Yeah.
Well,
Cash
actually,
only.
They'll probably do what the creepy junkyard that I went to a month ago did and say, just use that ATM right over there and we'll charge you $6 a hit.
it's like going.
But
yeah.
they still took only cash,
Right. No, you're right.
and
Yeah.
But they also
cash
own
is
the
always
ATM.
king.
But even so, these two things, the creepy junkyards and dispensaries, are really outliers. Because I mean, I'm not whatever.
I do own a Jeep, so I mean.
So, but you go to, but
I go
even-
to junkyards a
but
lot.
most of the junkyards you've been to, I'm assuming, have like square card readers or whatever they're called,
Yeah, yeah.
or an ATM in the vicinity, and at the point you're still getting cash. But
Piped.
there's no, I wouldn't fear going anywhere with a debit card and be like, I might not be able to get what I need. I've never had that idea in the however many years I've been alive with a debit card, which is
So-
not very many.
You go and you're like, "Hey, this guy's got this badass computer I want to buy." You show up and you say, "Hey, here's my debit card."
No, I'll
He's gonna
PayPal
say,
you some money.
"Hit
Or
the bricks.
Venmo.
Where's
I
my
will,
cash?"
I will Square Cash. If you're selling me a computer and you don't have Square Cash, You hit the bricks, sir. Not you, but
Good day to you, sir.
good day to you.
No soup for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I say good day.
And I mean, to me now, plastic is king. I can't.
Well, to the younger guys, plastic is king. But when I sell a motorcycle or a hot rod and that guy shows up in plastic, I'm going to punch him in the face.
No,
Yeah, punch him in the face.
That is-
Why are you
I
going
don't-
to punch somebody?
Is king.
I don't know if that's an appropriate
when
response.
I say 600 $600, $6,000 or whatever,
Yeah.
that guy better show up with cash.
But if I PayPal you $6,000, what's the problem?
it's still
I don't
cash.
have PayPal.
It's not cash.
No,
It's
I'm with him
not
on that one.
cash.
Really?
That's
See?
that's
Why?
If I'm buying or selling something like that, and it's a significant amount of money, you know, not a $5 or $10 item or something,
Yeah.
you know, that you're doing off of Let Go or something like that.
Yeah.
But if we're meeting at the bank, you're getting
Okay.
the cash.
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, we have another community mic comment real quick.
All credit has to be run through electronics. All electronics fail at some point. Cash never fails.
This is true. This is true. And I have been to McDonald's one time when their card reader wasn't working.
I remember
it was,
that.
It was essentially the worst day of my life.
No,
I
I
had-
remember. What,
you
it
had
was
$5
it was
in
the
your
middle of the night
pocket.
too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was
yeah,
at like 1 a.m.
Yeah. It was like at 1 a.m.
I woke up to text messages. You were livid.
I went to McDonald's. We don't even get into why. Whatever. I was at McDonald's. The card was whatever. You know. So for that point, cash is king. You know. I give you that. I don't even remember why we started this topic. To be completely honest. Oh, because we were talking about the merchant gateways and how I wouldn't feel comfortable
With
buying
encryption.
stuff online, like at Amazon,
Oh,
or,
yeah,
or any retailer really for that matter, with any sort of digital
Well,
currency and whatnot.
that's the thing with me is like I buy so little of what I buy now is not online, so you know cash isn't an option because I really I mean
You
Yeah.
buy you
like
buy
Doxy, I buy clothing, you know,
Yeah, me too.
and food. Food is the one thing I buy locally, you know.
No. Well, I mean, I buy it locally, but they bring it to me.
Ah,
I don't. Will not go to the
it?
grocery store.
Eat 24 or
Yeah.
or Uber Eats or any
Yeah,
of those other
any of
services
those places.
are the best thing that have ever happened to me in my entire life.
Oh, no, not only that, but Prime Now.
I've never used Prime Now for food.
yeah.
I've never used Prime Now, but I'm a very big fan of Uber Eats and Eat24 and Postmates. All of those, best friends.
Oh, yeah.
I love them.
Oh, yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
I
So,
never use them,
BFFs.
ever.
So if you want to know how to survive without cash, come talk to Greynoise.
yeah.
Yep.
If you don't want to carry cash, come talk to me. I can help you out.
We're here to help.
So with that said, we should get into the lightning round now.
Okay.
All right. We're a little bit late, but that's fine. Who wants to go first?
I won't tell.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Daddy Chin isn't here. Oh, that's weird. That sounds weird.
That-
that's weird. That's
yeah.
weird to say. That's weird to say. But anyway, who wants to go first? Zenify.
Okay.
All right. We're going to skip that one. So we were talking about this earlier, actually. Firefox's faster, slicker, slimmer Quantum Edition now out.
Love it.
It's called Quantum. Firefox
Hashtag
Quantum.
love it.
Hashtag love it.
I'm loving it. Callback.
Isn't this kind of like RC Cola releasing a new flavor?
In so much that RC Cola is delicious, and I love all the new flavors.
Oh, okay, all right.
Just kidding. I don't think I've ever actually had an RC Cola.
They just celebrated their 12th sale.
Smaction?
Yes.
I've only used it a little bit, but I like Quantum. I'm seriously thinking of switching from Chrome to it,
Yeah.
and I haven't bit the bullet yet though.
Yeah.
so.
For the little bit of work I've done on it so far, I really like it.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, you wouldn't believe because I'm using Chrome right now, but I
don't believe it.
I do really like it.
Now, yeah, to be fair, I never get to hashtag love it with any of my browsers. So
Oh man, when I first started using Chrome, when I went from when I went from Internet Explorer to using Chrome,
Oh, God.
oh, that was the best day of my life.
Oh, yeah.
Did you use
yeah.
Internet Explorer at one point?
Absolutely, dude. When I was younger, I was all about
I'm down
Internet
to the
Explorer.
Opera.
I used Internet Explorer until Internet Explorer 7, and I remember because that's when they first introduced tabbed browsing, and I used it up until that point, and then somebody's like, use Chrome, and I was like, what? And then it was the whole thing.
Damn.
All right. Next, Facebook is struggling to meet the burden of security itself, security chief says.
Securing itself.
Dude, the security chief should not be saying that.
It's not it doesn't provide a lot of confidence in Facebook.
Yeah.
Satchel,
Okay.
it's Facebook.
I mean, it's Facebook. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Smaction.
I'm more concerned with them not being able to get a handle on their ads and where they're coming from than I am with getting to whatever level of
Yes.
security.
Like whatever ad is injecting.
No.
Yeah,
Or what do you mean?
well, it's the whole controversy over the election, and they were getting
Oh,
fake news fake ads.
yeah, now they're like, oh, you know what? Matter of fact, we did have fuck
Yes,
that. Fuck
and
that.
bitch, it was
so I'm a
Russian.
little
Fuck
more.
them.
You know
to
what?
me, that's
Now
a
that-
bigger issue.
That is a huge, and yeah, and that's but I feel like that's also bundled into security, right?
Yeah, it is, and but I, the things they work on with security, it's like it's an arms race with
With
bad actors.
yes.
And but I don't feel like that's the case with the ad problem.
I feel like that's
And so it's like, okay, you're in an arms race, and right now feel like you're behind in the arms race. That's what I kind of take away from the
security
Facebook
chief,
security
yes.
chief statement. So whereas with the ads, you got a real problem that they could really be working on a solution. And right now, since we're between cycles, the situation is more or less static.
yes, and they've mentioned it, they've acknowledged it, but they're like, yeah, and then they go back to they go back to doing whatever.
So that's my thought on that.
Part
Anyway.
of Facebook security problems is people keep trying to hang their dirty laundry out and expecting nobody to see the shit stains on it.
I don't think that's part of Facebook security problem. I think that's part of people not realizing. Like, I feel like they have this idea that they're anonymous online because they come from maybe other forums or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they start talking about stuff, and they're like, shit, people can
Exactly.
see this.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's so much of a security problem as it is people being stupid problem is what I think that mostly
Well,
is.
it creates problems because now they have an open channel, and then people use their information. And eventually, their stuff gets hacked. They complain to Facebook about how they don't have good security. Facebook says, "Hey, why did you hang your shitty laundry out?"
I don't know. I have no idea. But I don't think those two camps, I don't think they intersect. The people who air dirty laundry and the people who complain about security on Facebook. I don't know, but I don't think they. I don't think they meet in the middle. I feel like those are two very different kinds of people.
Yeah, I can see that.
I feel like,
I see where you're going.
but what I don't know. I have no idea. I got no idea. You've already said stuff.
Yeah.
You're good.
So I was gonna interject.
Oh, okay.
With I was reading the rest of the Ars Techno one. It's a bunch
Fucking
of
cheater.
It's a bunch of clickbaity bullshit.
Oh yeah.
I was just gonna.
We've got one more and then we're done.
Well, I was gonna do one more on a different website that's
Oh,
actually
okay.
kind of interesting. So this one's on darkrating.com.
You fucking serving my job, dude.
Yeah, I know, dude. 121 pieces of malware flagged on NSA employee's home computer. And for context, this is the same NSA employee who took home agency hacking tools, and then Kaspersky Labs in Russia picked that up, and now the Russians know what tools.
The NSA uses.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So hold on. My first question is, this dude took home NSA tools, still has a job, and got.
I don't think he has a job anymore.
He doesn't work there anymore.
I don't
That's what
even know
was
where he is
confused
anymore.
about. Okay, because I was gonna say
Well, no, he gets paid by the Russians now.
Yeah.
he has a different job,
He has a
but,
different
but the
job.
same job.
Yeah.
You are now consultant.
Yeah.
You are not consultant.
So obviously, hey, and this goes back to quite a few weeks ago. We were talking about Snowden at the NSA, and people. I think it was BGM. It might have been Chen, and we were arguing about people fitting profiles and them not being hired. Like why? Like if they knew he was showing these warning signs, why would they hire this person or whatever? And then I argued that it manifests over time. It's not all apparent at once.
Yeah.
That's true.
Even with the best of investigators or whatever, sometimes you just don't know because it's not there until much later. Like this guy, who
Yeah.
obviously,
Well, so the problem with this one is he already had 121 different pieces of malware on his home computer, and he brings these tools home. Like, what is he doing, and how does he know that his computer's not secure? He's a fucking NSA agent.
he's clicking every ad banner. Oh shit! I won again. Fuck this computer. Community Mike.
The best analogy I can come up with, because I'm not too good with computers, is back in the 80s when they were still flying the Blackbird program, Oxcart. They would take, and they knew that there were blind spots with their satellite system, and they would fly this plane over these blind spots and take photographs because they knew that the people they were photographing knew there was a blind spot there. They would then use the plane to take pictures of the stuff that was there. So if they don't typically let people take anything home. So I'm thinking they did let this happen on purpose. So now that they think these tools are out there,
Yeah.
they can then have like a certain specific type of information that they can track, saying, okay, we know we need to follow this guy, we know we need to follow this guy, we know we need to follow this guy, because they were given the information we deliberately gave them.
Yeah.
These programs might have another program inside of them that could then, like a double agent, send information back to us.
That is actually a good point. Yeah, definitely. Smaction or Satchel?
See, I'm with him. I'm wondering how this guy still stays in the agency. I'm wondering how you get them home.
Yeah.
The tools?
Yeah.
Rubik's
It's
Cube.
like it's not like they don't check you going in and out of an NSA building.
Right. I don't know.
This USB,
What is
porn, for jacking it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go jack it with this porn.
My home computer is slow for some reason,
Yeah.
so I got to download porn at work and bring it home.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. It's nothing.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
Just porn.
Yeah. That's no big deal.
Yeah.
Then they're going to look at it, so you got to tell them it's like really weird porn, like video
Yeah,
porn.
Yeah.
this is like tentacle stuff, man. You don't
want to get into
tentacles
this.
and poop. You don't want it, man. It's not. No.
All right. And with that,
With that, there's
we've come to the end of the show.
we have come right to the end.
As Master Shin likes to say, we've run out of time, but not out of shit to say. I'm Doxy.
I'm Zenify.
I'm Smaction.
And I'm Richard Satchel.
Good night, everybody.